Perry song Firework, and I heard it for a long time, and I never really connected it with Katy Perry. I mean, I just don't listen to what's out there. People send me stuff, and I go, oh, okay, that's what's out there. I will tell you that I'm sort of an amateur musicologist. I study music. I know a teensy little bit about the music industry. I got a letter from a guy yesterday, and I hope he's listening. I was going to write you back, and I ran out of time yesterday. He is a musician, a guitarist, and I've heard him play. I listened to a CD that he sent. And I'm not really big into jazz or anything like that. There's some of it that's okay, but he's an excellent guitar player, and he was in the biz for years. And he said I went from the mafia of New Jersey out to the mafia of Hollywood. And he said there's a mafia in Hollywood, and he said they just don't dress like the guys from Jersey. He said they dress, you know, they're wearing Hawaiian shirts and shorts and sandals, and they still have the same bimbos around. But anyway, he said I got hooked in with a lot of people, and he said the mafia kings in Hollywood, they control the TV shows, they control the movies, they control the porn industry. He said they can just control everything. And he said I was playing gigs and I was at their parties and this and that and the other, and he just knew that something was wrong, and he asked God to save him, and God saved him. But he said I was in the business, I was in the industry, and I know what's going on. And I know that record companies are constantly looking for the sound that teenage girls and teenage boys, especially adolescent ones, are going to lock on to. They know that their bodies have changed. They know that hormones are erupting. They know that things are happening in them. They're having thoughts. And they design music for them. And they're always looking for this sound. I remember somebody brought up Keith Green Tuesday. And Keith Green's story is an interesting story in that there's actually a YouTube video of Keith Green when he was on a TV show back in the 60s. And it's What's My Line or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, he was the youngest member of ASCAP, the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. And at 13 years old, here is this blonde-headed, blue-eyed boy from Middle America, Keith Green, doing things on a piano that to this day I can't do. And he was singing, and he was going to release a record with Decca Records, and Keith Green was going to be the next teen idol. I mean, he was going to be hot to trot all over America. And something happened. Well, God happened is what happened. God intervened, and a young boy by the name of Donny Osmond stole the show from him. And so his record career went down the toilet. So he got into New Age, he got into mysticism, got into the drug culture of the 60s and 70s, and he was exposed to all of that, and then he got saved. And I have no doubt, I have no reason to doubt his salvation. And like I said, some of his songs I think are very, very profound and scriptural. Some of them are a little iffy with me. But anyway, there is a sound that they market to teenagers. And when I listened to this song by Katy Perry, Firework, again, I didn't know it was her, and I didn't know what the song, I couldn't even hear the words. But I'm listening to the sound, the beat, and the music, and I'm going, you know what? This is targeted. This music is targeted to 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old girls is who it is. It's targeted directly to them. Now, they don't have a source of income, but 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old girls get an allowance, or they get money from mom or whatever, and they buy records, they buy CDs, they download music. I mean, they download it into the billions of dollars, and they have made Katy Perry, who admitted, I guess I sold myself to the devil. Okay, she admitted it. And when you watch her stuff and listen to her song where she's like talking about she's marrying an E.T. and they're kind of going to get together, and I'm going, okay, I get what that is. But somebody just brought it to my attention. In fact, somebody posted it on Facebook, and they said, You know, it's talking about the God within and so on, and homosexuality. And I went, So I decided to look into it today, and I'm going to show you what I found. And we're going to talk about this. We've got a few minutes left. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to show you just a screen capture of the music video called Firework. And I want you to notice, here's Katy Perry, and she's singing the song, Firework. And the imagery of if you turn the music off and just watch the imagery of the video, you'll catch more. And so here she has, you know, what looks like these sparks coming out of her chest, okay? And, of course, you know, that's all done with industrial light and magic. It's all done with computers and everything like that. They didn't actually hook fireworks up to her shirt and then have to extinguish it, you know, when the camera went off. But she has these sparks coming out of her chest, okay? Now, and she's singing the lyrics to Firework. Here is the lyrics that she's singing. It says, and I'm going to pull this up a little bit closer to where I can read it to you successfully. The lyrics go, do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Did you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blowing from caving in? And I want you to notice that the lyrics are all about how do you feel? Do you feel? Do you feel? Do you feel? Because the record guys know that there's one thing that teenage girls do a lot of, and that is have emotions. They have a ton of emotions, brand new emotions that they've never had before. And it's all you. Do you feel? Do you feel drifting? Do you feel like you're no connected? Do you feel like you just float away? And every teenage girl feels that way. So they're going, oh, this song was written about me. Oh, it's got me. Now listen to this one. Do you ever feel already buried deep? 6 feet under, screams, but no one seems to hear a thing. Remember the imagery, the Freemason imagery of a grave, of a casket in a grave, 6 feet under, 72 inches, by the way. Do you know that there's still a chance for you because there's a spark in you? And that's what she's singing when she starts showing the spark that is in you. Now, this has everything to do with the idea of the divine spark. And it's the idea, and I pulled this up from Wikipedia. And here's what Wikipedia says. The idea most common to Gnosticism, but also present in most Western mystical traditions such as Kabbalah. There you go. And Sufism, that all of mankind contains within itself the divine spark of God, which is contained or imprisoned in the body. And these cosmologies, the purpose of life is to enable the divine spark to be released from its captivity in matter and reestablish its connection with or simply return to God, who is perceived as being the what? Look at it. The source. The source of the divine light. Where did we read that earlier? I told you to write that down and remember it. Ellen White referring to God as the source. In the Gnostic Christian tradition, the modern Lectorium Rosicrucianism, Christ is seen as an avatar of the light which has taken human form in order to lead humanity back to the light. The Cathars in particular saw this idea expressed most powerfully in the opening words of the Gospel of John. And so I'm going to show this to you again. Here is now Katy Perry teaching. She's indoctrinating teenagers. She's indoctrinating people to believe and to teach them that they have a divine spark within them. They have a God on the inside of them. In Christian mysticism, you can reach this God through contemplative prayer, through altered states of consciousness, through being slain in the Spirit, or all of these, or falling backwards, or whatever it is. You can reach this God on the inside of you. You can release Him. When the faith healer is talking about you need to release your faith, that's the guy they're referring to, the divine spark. If you watch the Transformer movies, it was all about the all-spark. That's what that was, the divine spark. In other words, it's a little bitty flame inside of you. Think of what's in the flames right now. Thinking about all these denominations and ministries that are using this imagery of something on fire. Oh, we're on fire! We're on fire! Todd Bentley going around saying, "Fire! Fire!" And I don't know why everybody doesn't run out of the building, because he's telling them, "Fire! Fire!" That divine spark is what's in your heart that Jesus said defiles a man when it comes out. You're right. The Olympic flame is the divine spark that has gone into full-blown flame, is what it is. It starts with a spark where the gods gave mankind fire from Mount Olympus, gave them the spark, and now they need to ignite the flame so that the world can be taken and be ablaze. It's interesting that the United Pentecostal movement calls themselves the World of Flame Ministries. They're going to catch the whole world on fire. I believe that. I believe they are. Then there is a scene where they show, and it's all play on emotions, they show a young girl in like a hospital, and she's bald, obviously, and she's in a hospital gown, and obviously she has leukemia or cancer or something like that. And this young girl is dying, and she's lost all of her hair, and she has no friends. She's not like everybody else. She looks to be about 11, 12 years old, something like that. And she's wandering down the dark halls of the hospital, and she hears a sound coming out of a room, and this is the image that she sees. And now this young girl is going to get hope, because a baby, a child is going to be born. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The all-spark, the divine spark is in this baby, and it's going to be born. And now this girl has hope. I want to stop right here, because I'm going to show you what this baby is. I'm going to show you from the Bible what this baby represents. In 1 Samuel. In 1 Samuel, once God had pronounced to Eli, "Eli, the sign is going to be your two sons are going to be dead in the same day. This is going to be the sign that I'm going to do this." Here is what happened. The Philistines, the guys who worship the Dagon god, the god of the giants, they take the Ark of the Covenant from Israel, and it goes to the Philistines. They're removing something. The Ark of the Covenant is taken out of the way. Think of 2 Thessalonians 2. The man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who exalts and opposes himself above all that is called God or is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. That man of sin is going to be birthed. He's going to be born. The allspark is going to be birthed into a flame of divinity. And then it says, "Only he who now letteth will let until he be" what? Taken out of the way. And so here we have the picture of the Ark of the Covenant now taken out of the way. And here's what happens. In 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 12, "There ran a man of Benjamin out of the army, and came to Shiloh the same day with his clothes rent, and with earth upon his head. And when he came, lo, Eli sat upon a seat by the wayside watching." By the way, the wayside seed, it's where the devil comes and eats it all up. "For his heart trembled for the ark of God. And when the man came into the city and told it, and all the city cried out. And when Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, What meaneth the noise of this tumult?" A noise, a tumult. "And the man came in hastily and told Eli. And Eli was